What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. This is, of course, the show you can come to for anything and everything Corvette. Usually we're talking about ownership items, maintenance stuff, Corvette rumors, new Corvettes to come, whatever it is. If it's Corvette related, you'll find it here on this channel. Obviously, I have Brandon here from Brand's Garage. It'll be on your right, on my left. But basically, David is out sick tonight, so wish David a speedy recovery, guys. I think he got what Brandon had last week, which was not very good, apparently. It kind of knocked Brandon down for a little while, too. So, yeah, that's why it's just me and Brandon tonight. But nonetheless, we're going to have an awesome show. Guys, we're going to start this out. Since this is one of those odd Mondays where it's actually the fifth Monday of the month, there's no sponsor for tonight. So the giveaway for tonight is going to be something out of my personal arsenal. And because it's out of my personal setup, what I'm going to do is there is no entries for a giveaway tonight. All you have to do is be a member. So if you want to get entered on this, you'll have to, of course, purchase the entry for a membership, which I would appreciate if you did. But that would end up being about $5. For those of you who are already members, all I need you to do is type that number 1 in the chat. And this is what we're giving away tonight. This is going to be a full carbon fiber replacement for your name plaque on the Z06. So 100% carbon fiber through and through, super lightweight, looks really good on the engine bay. And the entries tonight, if you're a member, are free. If you're not a member, you got to go to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and click on the membership and set yourself up to become a member. Once you do, it will alert me here in the chat, and I will make sure to get your name entered in as well. So we got a bunch of members here, guys, so you're going to have to give me a minute to get all these things situated. But if you want to get entered, go get yourself set up with a membership on the channel. I'm actually going to paste a link in here for you guys. It's going to be in the chat here. All you got to do is click on this link. Go get yourself set up to be a member, and then you will get a free entry to get in on this. Everybody's going to get one entry tonight, and that's it. So it's going to be 100% right down the middle. There is no way anybody has a better chance than anybody else. If you're a member, you get locked in. So there's the link, guys. Click on that link, become a member, and you're going to get a free entry. Someone will win this tonight. Like I said, this is out of my personal arsenal. I used this for maybe 2 or 3 days and then swapped it out to something different. So when I say different, it was a different company's carbon fiber plate, and it wasn't for any real specific reason other than the fact that it looked better with their parts in there. So that's it. There is a lot of members. I think as of now, we have almost 50 members, which is really, really awesome, guys. People sure do love carbon fiber, says Paragon Performance, and I agree. Let me set up this chat thing real quick here so we can get this stuff on the screen. There it is.
And it's Brandon approved because I'm sure it's got to be a little lighter than the factory plastic.
It actually is, Brandon. Believe it or not, it is significantly lighter. Yes. The plastic factory one is super thick plastic. So, yeah.
It's probably like, what, 10 grams or something like that? Yeah,
it's a couple grams lighter. But, guys, this gets 5 Brandons, okay? Pretty good. It is real carbon fiber, as you can see on the back here. Carbon fiber through and through. So it weighs, I mean, this is probably a couple ounces, to be honest with you. So going to be super awesome to swap that out. You'll feel the difference. No, I don't know if you'll feel the difference, but it is lighter weight, so you're not adding any weight to your car.
I thought it was 40 horsepower.
40 horsepower, yeah. That's what Dana says. Everything that reduces weight is 40 horsepower.
Guess what I found out this week, Justin? I found out the weights of our undercarriage bolts.
Yeah. I saw you posting that. How much are they?
So I haven't weighed all of them. I just did the main ones that you do, the ones with the little, I guess the e-torque setup.
Yeah.
I guess it's the E6 or whatever. Those are 60 grams each. And then if you were to do a titanium version, like 5 millimeters shorter, they're 35 grams. So you can save 25 grams on a TI version of the OEM setup, at least from but it's a little shorter. But there's galvanic, I guess, corrosion and stuff that can happen, I guess, with introducing water and those kind of things. So that's something I don't really know the ins and outs of. But from a weight perspective, it's 25 grams per bolt saved. So I know it doesn't sound like a lot.
On that note, I know because that shield underneath there's aluminum, right?
Yes.
I think titanium and aluminum will play oddly together unless you use like anti-seize or something on them.
Right. Yeah. I think you can use any season. I think there can be corrosion over time in weather. I think it has to be introduced to like water or something else. I think if you're one of those guys like me, I don't really drive in the rain. May not be a problem. If you're one of those that's up north that drives it year round, that might become a
Yeah, the
problem
snow and the salt would
later.
probably be an issue.
Yeah, I think you can have the corrosion with the two metals being different at that point. But
Seawolf 06 says, "Hey Amber, Maria and Coco wanted me to make sure to say hi."
Tell them I said hi.
She's off screen, but she said hi. You have to contact the factory for a new nameplate. You don't have to, actually. The nameplate comes off the stock piece pretty easily. Oddly enough, whenever I went to take mine off, it almost fell off because the tape that was holding it on was like the real like poor quality 3M tape. And then whenever I put it on here, I put it on with some 3M VHB tape, and it took some serious strength to get it off of here. So as long as you're careful, you can get it off and reuse it. You don't necessarily have to get a new plate.
Sounds like Jay Brazelton's gonna put that on his C9.
Yeah. Matthew says, "Hey guys, if you want to drive a new C8 ZR1, I have a friend that may have a way to drive one that is hot off the line." Yes, Matthew, please share that information with us. I would love that. Because as of right now, as you guys know, I passed on my first allocation, first round. So I'm just waiting for the second round to come through. But right now, nobody with a C8 ZR1 allocation, nobody is above a 3,000 status as of yet. Supposedly, something's supposed to be happening this week with that. So we might be getting some information on the ZR1 builds this week, at some point this week. That's what I keep hearing. So that would be pretty cool.
Justin, what do you think the time frame is on the second round? Do you have any idea from the dealer using any like
Nope.
guesstimate 6 months or less?
Oh, for the second round? Yeah,
Yeah,
way less. What it should have been is 2 or 3 weeks ago. Should have been the second round. The first round was in
because
February.
because everybody's stagnant.
Yeah.
Okay.
First round was in February. Second round should have been in March, but since it wasn't, hopefully it will be in April. Especially once they start building these things, I would imagine we'll get the second round pretty quickly after that. But we haven't had any information on these cars actually being built yet. So we have a couple things to talk about tonight. But the first one I want to talk about here, guys, is since we're talking about a ZR1, is how you can actually win one. If you guys haven't seen this before, check out the link in the description down below. You can actually enter to win this particular ZR1. And the way it works is you purchase entries here, and this goes to the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum as a charity kind of thing. But at the back end, someone's going to win a ZR1. And if you click the link in my description, you actually get 20% more chances to win this car than you would normally. So instead of 18 entries, you'll get 22 as the default $25 entry. So use the link in the description below. But if that yellow one here doesn't tickle your fancy, there is also the option to win a torch red one. This one goes from MS Solutions, and this is going to give you actually 50% more entries. So instead of 18, you're going to get 27. And again, for the same cost of $25. So check out the links in the description below, guys, if you want to try to win one of these cars. As of right now, it seems like that is probably all of our best bets on getting one of these things, is to just randomly win one, because you're probably not going to get an allocation from GM. So check out the links in the description. Grab a couple of those entries. I mean, they start at $25, and you can always take your chances. Worst case scenario, you are benefiting a good charity. So
if there were only two colors, red and yellow, which one would you pick?
me,
Yeah.
red for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
What about Brandon?
What about Brandon? If you were to win one of those ZR1s, let's say red and yellow, which one would you take out of those two?
I'd go torch red.
Yeah, he says
Just
red.
because I had torch red in the
Okay.
past. I'm a big torch red fan.
I knew you'd pick red. I wasn't sure what he would pick.
All right, Lewis is officially a member of the loyal HPO fan club. Thanks, Lewis. I'll make sure you get your entry. Anybody, again, if you guys want to get in on the giveaway for tonight, just make sure you do go ahead and become a member if you're not already. the giveaway. This is worth roughly $250, by the way, guys. This is from AGM, AG Motorsports. This is true carbon fiber. It's a $250 part. You can win it tonight, and all you got to do is be a member. And the membership is $4.99. You could literally win this for $5. So go onto the channel, become a member, take your shot at winning this, and you can see it is pure carbon fiber, and it matches the GM carbon fiber really nicely. It's the same weave and everything. So again, I will put the membership link in the chat here. If you guys want to become a member, I'd love to see some new members join. We are really close to 50 members right now. It'd be really cool to hit 50 members by the end of this show. So once you become a member, it's going to pop up in the chat. I'm going to know right off the bat you've become a member. No. So Professor Corvette says, does RSC make one? They do not. As of now, RSC, pretty much all the stuff that they are making that I know of off the top of my head is all exterior carbon fiber. There's not anything for the interior or the engine bay specifically. So with stuff like this is 100% a stock replica made out of carbon fiber. So the shape, everything is the same as stock. You can see even this hole right here is elongated, just like it is on the factory piece. This is just a stock replacement made out of carbon fiber instead. And the stock one, like I was telling Brandon, it's really thick plastic. It actually weighs a good bit compared to this. This part will help you save a little bit of weight. So
And gain 40 horsepower.
and gain 40 horsepower at least.
Oh, one thing I need to correct real quick. When I mentioned the 60 grams, that was for 4 bolts. And so it was 60 total for 4. So you'd have to have 4 bolts total to save 25 grams. So you'd have to exchange. I gave bad math earlier. So
Okay. Did you happen to weigh all of them? Just put all of them on a scale?
No, they're the big ones underneath that are under the I guess it's a composite area that's more towards the middle. Those I think are going to be really heavy. I didn't get those
are
off
pretty
because
big.
on the lift. I think those actually the savings on those is going to be substantial. But I'll weigh those later this week.
Devin427 Racing says, hey, Justin, I just went on Google and it said that the C8 ZR1 runs a 629.09 on the Nurburgring. Can you confirm that is true? I can confirm that is not true. If it is, it literally just happened because nobody has made any comments about that. And that's a number fast enough that would circulate the internet really quickly. So I doubt it. If I had to guess,
AI predicting it?
It could be.
Think?
Maybe it's AI, but
Like
if I had to
predicting the
guess, just
time?
like my random thought, add 20 seconds to that, and that's probably about where we're going to be. I would say 6:45 to 6:49 is probably going to be about where it's at.
Oh, I was thinking quicker. I would think it'd be a little quicker than that. I know. I felt like the
Ma-
06 time was suboptimal, and I think it was going to be a little quicker than the GTD, a little bit
I
faster.
think
than that,
I think ultimately the C8 Z06 runs a hair under 7 minutes in a capable person's hands. I think that car is a 6:55 to 6:58 car all day long. I think the ZR1 is going to be about 10 seconds faster. But I'd love to be proved wrong on that. I'd love to see 629 be legit because that puts a lot of supercars to shame at 629. So I'd love to see
The only
that.
reason I say that is because of the 5th gear thing and like
Yeah.
the 01, all that power, and that's such a long track. I don't know. I feel like it could make up a little more time with that power, but I could be wrong. You know,
It could. Yeah, though there's one specific straightaway that it could probably hit 200 miles an hour on. Because I think the Z06 even hit like 150 something.
That's crazy to think about.
I know, it really is. That car is a friggin' beast. Yeah, so guys, we're going to be talking a lot about the ZR1 and also a price increase that's coming most likely for the 2026 model year. Yeah, Devin says it was generated by AI. So, see, the problem with that is, number one, I don't like the way a lot of AI stuff is stated on the internet as fact or, I'm trying to think of the word to use. It's stated as if it's 100% legit. And you don't really know that it's not until you bring up the question here, and then everybody's like, no, I've not heard that. Then you realize it's probably AI and that it's just guessing. But at the same time, if that thing ends up being right, like, maybe we should be listening to these things, you know? So
I found it's been wrong a few times, at least for me. Like what they quote unquote as fact on a Google search, I found some of the information to be inaccurate with the AI stuff, at least personally.
yeah,
I
mean,
like it because
AI's
they instantly get it, but
AI is wrong
definitely
a
got
lot.
time to go.
I've seen it be wrong a lot. And not only is it wrong a lot, it gets like little details confused a lot. So I don't know. It's hard to totally trust it as of right now. But KP says, do you know if the C8 Grand Sport will have the Z06 suspension setup? If it follows, well, number one, if it exists, which there's no guarantee of yet. There's been rumors for it for quite some time, but there's nothing solid. If it does exist and it follows the paths of the past C8 Grand Sport or Grand Sports in general, it will have the suspension from the Z06. It will also have the wide body, and it will probably have an option for even the Z07 package, which would be like your high wing and all the aero stuff. So if you ordered it like you could in the past, it would be very hard to tell that it's not a Z06 outside of the fact that it's not going to sound like one.
Yeah, and KP and piggybacking off of that, I agree with Justin. Mainly thing, of course, obviously, if it is a thing, but the LT6 and the LT2 weighing almost within like 10 pounds of each other, so there would be no reason to change the suspension because the weights would be equivalent to the two cars. So to me, it makes sense that it would be the same suspension, I would think.
Yeah. Usually they go with the more sport style suspension. So if it wasn't exactly the Z06 suspension, it would be something slightly more tuned for track use over the Stingray. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. So let me see here. For those of you just joining in, it looks like we got about 200 people watching. Please smash the thumbs up button. Let us know you're liking the content. We have 61 thumbs ups right now. Let's hit 100 thumbs ups by 8 o'clock would be really cool. And while you're in here, if you just popped in, this is the giveaway for tonight. It is a carbon fiber name plaque for your Z06. Completely made out of real carbon fiber, and it does actually save weight off the stock unit. Plus, it looks really cool at car shows. It is a $250 piece. You can win it tonight by being a member on the channel. That's all you got to do. The membership is $4.99. You click join on the website. It's going to alert me right here. You're going to get entered in to win this. We're giving it away tonight. So make sure you get entered to win. That includes you, Brandon. I don't think you have one, do you?
No, I don't actually. That hadn't even crossed my mind to even do that.
I know.
Yeah, so that's kind of wheels are turning.
Well, at some point, put your number one in there. I'm going to have everybody do it later towards the end of the show here so I can get them all in at the same time. Jeremy says, Justin, I have a random question for you. Do you have the 91 millimeter throttle bodies? I do. Yeah, I have the new generation, we'll call them 91 millimeter throttle bodies. Why do you ask? Wheeler says, hey, sorry I'm late, everyone. My Z06 got picked up in the trailer today for its PPF treatment. Nice. Ceramic, rock guard, slip low, blackout, the yellow bow tie. Heck yeah. Windshield protection, ceramic, and the outworks. Yeah. Awesome, dude. Finally holding a set of keys. Everybody, let's congratulate Wheeler. He just got a Z06. He is going to absolutely love it. That freaking car is awesome. Literally one of my favorite
He's talking
cars.
about doing a Corsa intake on it. He's thinking about it if he gets some dyno numbers, which we're hoping to produce some here, David and I, hopefully within the next month or so. If I hadn't got sick, we'd already have them. But
I was going to say, Brandon was sick last week. Now David's sick this week, so makes it hard to get to the dyno, I guess. Dean Marks, what's up, Dean? He is now part of the membership, so you'll get an entry, Dean, for a part for a Corvette. That should make you happy, right? Will you like this on your 300? He has a 300 C, I think. Let's see. Yeah, congrats, Wheeler. That's really awesome, man. I'm happy to hear that because we are giving away parts on this channel all the time. Now you can actually participate. Now you can have something to look forward to. Wheeler, this is for a Z06, so if you wanted to get the nameplate on the engine bay and carbon fiber, we're giving this away. It's $250. You can win it tonight for just being a member on the channel. Did I get... No. So Kevin Horan says, I learned that when you disconnect the battery and you have the 91s, you have to go back to relearn process with the computer. That makes sense. Usually that's the way it is. Yeah, he'll have to just like staple it to the hood of the Porsche because there's nowhere for that to go otherwise.
it didn't take a lot of time, if I remember right. It was pretty quick.
What's that?
The relearn process. The relearn process.
Yeah.
It only took just a few minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super quick. Dean, I would say yes, other than the fact my car already has one on there. Yeah, 392 Jeeper says, Justin, please race your modified Z06 against the stock Z06 to see the real gains. We have plans on doing that possibly at the bash. David has a friend who has a stock Z06, not even a Z07 package car. It's a stock Z06, which is exactly what my car was before I modded it. So that's totally stock. Plus my car has all the mods with the lightweight stuff. We're going to be able to put those two side by side, hopefully around sometime at the bash, which again, guys, the bash is coming. Brandon, David, and I and RSC, we're all going to be in a booth together. Make sure you go to the website, horsepowerobsessed.com, and into the merch section and buy your bash shirt. It's a special bash shirt from HPO, and we're all going to wear them on Friday at the bash, just so we can, represent basically. But if I see you wearing the shirt, you're also going to get something pretty cool. Let's see. We got 200 people in here watching, 86 thumbs ups, guys. Come on, let's smash those thumbs up. Let's get those to 100 by 8 o'clock. We got 4 minutes. Thumbs up left and right. Let's do it. Let's see. Best radiator protectors for the 2025 Z06, 100% scrape armor. They're going to cost you the most, but they're going to fit the best, and they're also going to protect your warranty with GM. If something were to happen, and I've only seen this once, so I can't say it happens a lot, but it has happened, where an aftermarket grill guard actually started to wear into the backside of a radiator on a Stingray. And when it did that, it wore in enough that it started to leak, and it was not covered under warranty because those were not scrape armor grill guards. What did I saw? The relearning process is just starting the car up, letting it idle for 3 minutes, shutting it off, leaving it off for a minute, start it back up for 3 minutes, shut it off, let it sit off for a minute, and then turn it back on and drive it. I think like was it under a certain RPM?
It's a certain throttle percentage for a minute or two or something like that. I can't remember all the specific. I can send that to you, Jeremy, if you want. I still have like a screenshot of it.
Yeah, it's in my video too, Jeremy, where I put the 91 millimeters throttle body some on. Ron,
I got it from Justin's video.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember your screenshot was my video.
So I was sending you the screenshot of Justin's video.
Ron says, has Joe shipped the bash shirts yet? I don't think he has, but it should be shipping this week if I had to guess. And for any of you guys who haven't gotten the bash shirts yet, like I said, go to horsepowerobsessed.com. Actually, here, I'll show you. If we go to the horsepowerobsessed.com website, we're just scroll down to HPO merchandise, and right in here is the new NCM Bash Takeover shirt. And if you select it, this is what you're going to get. You can actually customize the color of the car on the shirt, and then on the back, it's going to have Brandon's logo, David's logo, DBM Racing, RSC, and mine above it, just to show you that when you buy this shirt, you're kind of helping all of us. So you can choose the color of the car. Like I said, we can go Arctic White, Rapid Blue, Hysteria Purple, Competition Yellow, Sebring Orange, Torch Red. Literally all of the colors are on here for the 2025 model year. So if you are interested in grabbing one of these shirts, head over to the website, grab it. And if I see you wearing one at the bash, I'm going to have a special gift for you.
Thank you, Justin. I already bought 2. Now I saw that one. I really liked that one. I'm gonna buy a 3rd one.
You didn't get a bash shirt yet? I thought you did.
Oh, maybe that's what maybe I did get that one. I can't see because of my screen. It's like small, so I couldn't tell if that was the same shirt that I ordered or not. It looked like maybe it was different.
Let me see.
I guess I did order that one. Never mind.
No, you did. Yeah, you ordered a Rapid Blue one. Yeah.
Okay. Never mind then. I was trying to like look through my phone to see what it looked like, but.
Let's see. So yeah. We Dean, I don't know if Dean knows about that. I know I told Josh a lot about it, but Wheeler has a 944 that he put a LS1 into, I believe it was. Really cool. And it looks like a brand new car too. It's crazy. Seawolf says he loves the fact that you can choose the color on your badge shirt. I knew whenever I was setting that shirt up, what Joe Lamb, of course, Super 8 Creations, he designed the shirt, but I said, hey, is it possible that people could choose their own color here? Because I know the way I am. If I buy a shirt and it has a red car on it, but mine's actually black, it's like, it's not really my car. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But when you can customize that kind of stuff, it makes you feel good. All right, guys, we got 200 people in here watching, and we haven't even hit 100 thumbs ups yet. We got to change that. Smash the thumbs up for me, guys. We should be able to hit 200 thumbs ups by 8:30 because we're already halfway there with Actually, we're exactly there with the people in here. So if you all hit thumbs up, we'd have 200 right now.
Yep.
Yeah, Aaron, I saw your order come in. You got 2 shirts, one for Thursday and one for Friday. So that's cool. Let's see. Nice. Ghost Rider C8 says, hey, Justin, Blackout did the Expel tinted PPF on the headlights last week. Looks awesome. Thanks for the idea. You're very welcome. I like it too. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, where are those thumbs ups? We got to smash those thumbs ups, guys. Look at them. That's what they look like. Hit that thumbs up.
Have you noticed any difference nighttime wise at all with the vision and stuff?
I literally can't tell a difference. So if there is one, it must not be very big. That's all I can say.
Okay.
I have no way of measuring that out, the output or anything, but based on my eyeballs and how long I've been driving a C8, I don't see a difference.
Okay, well that's good.
M Flies says, will the 2026 colors be revealed at the bash? They might be. I'm thinking they probably will because they revealed them last year. That's a solid.
Do you have any
it's a
guesses?
definite maybe. Guesses?
What are you thinking? There's gonna be a green? Yeah, you think there's gonna be a green, like a real green?
Man, if they do it right, there could be a real green, yeah. But don't hold your breath.
You think they would ever go wild enough to do a pink?
No,
No, never
absolutely
happened.
not. And that's a shame.
Demographic. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I bet they would sell a few of them, probably about as many as bronze metallic. But
yeah, that's kind of the problem. If they know that going into it, they're not going to do it. And honestly, that's probably why that we haven't seen a green yet. When they first announced that green, it was on that NFT purchase thing, and no one bought it. Literally 0 people. So that to them, they probably took that as, oh, well, people just don't like the color. Meanwhile, you're trying to sell an NFT, which is something like only like 20-year-olds understand, to people that are 50 plus. You know, nobody knows what that even is.
yeah, well, Porsche and BMW seem to be able to sell the greens.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what their sales numbers are, but I feel like I see a lot of that color in those platforms.
Yeah, and honestly, like Josh from Blackout Team just bought a GT3 RS, and that car came in a lizard green. And I honestly I literally can't picture that particular car in any other color. Like it has to be lizard green on that car. That's the way it looks the best. And it's weird. It's weird because that color is so interesting. It's so in your face that you don't even have to guess when you see it. You know that was a supercar. And that's why I'm really surprised that GM doesn't seem like they want to play with that at all. And I mean, I guarantee you, if we got a green for 2026, I guarantee you it'd be more like a forest green or like a revival of bowling green metallic, which by itself is not a bad color. It's just not the green that people have been asking for. But they'll say, hey, here's a green. Just like they did with Hysteria Purple. They were like, here's a purple. Meanwhile, 99% of the time it looks blue. Like, okay, I guess.
Speaking of that, I guess, did you hear the news? Everybody can probably relate to this. He may be in here. So I'm not sharing anything that's like not news. It's posted all over social media about with Corey's car. Did you see that today?
Yeah, he's leaking oil.
Yeah.
The main seal. Yeah.
I didn't realize that was such a big issue with the C8s as far as blowing those rim seals.
I think the problem,
boost, obviously.
The problem with that is, and it's not just specific to the C8, it's any car that's not supposed to have boost. When you add boost, you're increasing the pressure in there so much, especially through the PCV lines. You should have some sort of release. So a lot of the like oil catch cans out there, they'll have a vented top on it to release extra crankcase pressure from turbos or superchargers or whatever. Like on the TRX, if you go crazy with horsepower on that, you can actually increase your build of a Mighty Mouse catch can to help alleviate extra crankcase pressure. Even with, I had a ZL1 Camaro back in the day. It was a 2014. One of the first things I bought for that was a vented oil cap, because I had heard that even under stock pressure, it sometimes could push out seals. So
yeah,
might be something for Corey to look into, because with the Stingray engine, you can get a vented oil catch can. They haven't made one for the Z06 yet, but with the Stingray you can, and that might be something to check into, because that's not an easy job either to fix that rear main seal.
I don't know how much boost he was running, but I mean, I can't imagine more than 7 or 8 pound of boost. I just, it seems, I don't know, to
Well,
have 7 or 8 pound of boost and then blow the rear main seal.
It's
It seems,
it's
like not a lot.
crazy whenever you think about how much these cars they're built for very specific tolerances. So, or whatever, it's, if that rear main seal is supposed to last, the lifetime of the car, which it probably is, under these conditions. Whereas if you start throwing extra boost at it, it's like, whoa, what's this? Like, the car's not built necessarily to handle that. Now, sometimes manufacturers will overbuild a car, but at some situations you're going to run into the weak point, and that weak point is only built to handle the stock 495. If you throw anything additional at it, and that's why warranties are the way they are. If they see you have aftermarket parts and stuff, they're going to deny your warranty, because at the end of the day, that engine wasn't necessarily built to handle that.
Well, that kind of goes back to the twin turbo kits on the Z06. I'm wondering, I have to look back at them to see, are they putting those on the Z06 for the LT6 as well, to ward off that same issue, even though they're running pretty low boost on the twin turbo kits. But it makes you wonder. I have to look at Pike's kit and say, I'm sure he's thought of this, so I'm sure it's not news to him. So I'm sure he's already got ahead of this.
I haven't seen anybody put out a catch can yet for the Z06, because as soon as they do, I'm going to grab one. I'm a firm believer that catch cans are necessary in any engine. Not necessarily necessary, but a good, kind of passive way of increasing the lifespan of your engine. So if, like Mighty Mouse, every one of their catch cans has a vented top on it. So again, you're venting excess crankcase pressure, but you're also catching oil that could otherwise end up on the backs of your valves. And you guys know with direct injection, there's not really an easy way to clean those off, other than literally tearing the engine down and cleaning them off yourself, which is obviously a lot of work. So it's better to just have a catch can on there. But yeah. All right, so where are we at? We are at 116 thumbs ups, guys. We got 240 people in here watching. Let's keep smashing the thumbs ups. Let's get to 200 by 8:30. I do have an interesting announcement coming tonight. You guys need to stay tuned till the very end of this show to hear this announcement, and then we're going to run that wheel to see who wins the giveaway right after that announcement. So if you just tuned in, this is the giveaway for tonight. It is a carbon fiber name plaque for your Z06, so it will go right in the stock location, replace the heavy plastic one, plus it will look really awesome, really nice carbon fiber weave there. You can see it's perfect, and it will look good at car shows. $250 for this thing. You can win it tonight for nothing more than a $4.99 membership to this channel. As soon as you become a member, I'm going to see that you're a member. You're going to get entered. That's it. That's all there is to it. So easy entries tonight, guys. No real money involved at all. This is pretty much as free as it's going to get. And I'm going to paste in the chat once again the link to become a member. Click on that link, join the membership, and you'll get entered. Uncanny. I like it. Yeah, Seawolf Z06 says he had a catch can on his last 4 vehicles. It's unfortunate nobody's made one for the Z06 yet. I'm surprised by that. Professor Corvette needs an award for his excellent and uncanny use of HPO emojis in the chat. I agree. He does a great job. I think he was the one that came up with the Brandon scale too, if I remember right. Everything, I guess, did he say 5 Brandons was as high as you could go? No, 5 Brandons and 1 David or something.
I think it's 5. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, let's smash that thumbs ups. You got to close the live chat to see it. Really good point there, PT3RS.
Actually reminded me, I hadn't even clicked mine. I just did mine just now. Okay, there we go.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah.
I thought I clicked it earlier, but I just realized I didn't.
Chopper Larry's in. Okay, so if you guys were watching last week, you saw the conversation about the guy who, well, we assumed it was a guy, but turns out it was a guy who stole 8 Corvettes from the Bowling Green plant, including 1 ZR1. Yeah, well, they found him, and he's basically had a new charge added to his list of charges, I guess, for stealing 8 Corvettes from the assembly plant. Now, what surprises me here is I didn't realize it until just now that it was one guy who stole 8 Corvettes, which is just makes this thing even more ridiculous, because this means this guy walked in, or he cut a hole in the fence, walked in, drove a car out, got out of that car, walked back in, drove another car out, and he did that 8 times before anybody noticed anything. So anyway,
I mean, can we give this guy props a little bit?
I was
mean,
gonna say, like,
we're
that's
all
what
passionate about Corvettes, but we're not as passionate to where we go steal 8 of them. You know what I mean? Like,
and the fact that
that's
I just assumed it was a
ballsy.
crew. Like, you got a crew of 8 dudes that walked in, and no, it was one guy.
How did they not hear him starting up though? They're not quiet cars, especially the ZR1. I bet that was probably the loudest of the bunch.
I'm guessing no one was there. It was after hours, and he cut a hole in the fence. Okay, so
What?
that's all
But
it
how did he
takes.
get a ride back? Somebody had to give him a ride back after he stole one to get back. To
Well,
get
no,
another car.
well, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like,
So who
the
did that?
details are not. Let me
Yeah.
see if it says anything.
This seems like a movie. I want this movie to be made. This heist.
I was saying this last week. I was like, this is actually kind of impressive. Like the I guess the gall that it takes to first cut the hole in the fence and then just walk in and jump in a car and take it. Then to do that and really not get caught until later, when he was apparently at a Lowe's or something, is where they actually caught him. And at that point, on the website over at Corvette Blogger, it says that he is reported to have said during his booking that if I would have made it back to Michigan, I would have been paid big. Now, with that said, he is actually pleading not guilty to all of this stuff. So I don't know what he hopes to have happen here, but
And wasn't the 01 at his apartment? Like, that's the car that they saw. That was, well, at least that's where they found it. Like, that was a car he
no,
chose to like put.
I think that was
his
at
apartment.
Lowe's.
Oh, that was at Lowe's.
I
Okay,
think it
all right.
was. I read something about something happening at Lowe's, but it actually is saying here that there was one other guy with them. So there was 2 guys doing all this. But it's still pretty impressive that 8 cars go missing and only 2 people were involved.
Yeah, for real. It had been Detroit, right? When he's talking about Michigan. I mean, where else would have been taken them?
Of course. That's where cars go to get stolen and probably completely taken apart and parts sold off or shipped overseas or something crazy.
Just think, what do you think that engine, the 01 engine, the LT7 would have gone for on eBay? Could he actually been able to sell it? Like, what do you
Dude,
think people would have paid for that?
Massive money. And that's
$60K?
why more than that, I bet. That's
think
why he
if-
took his ZR1. I mean, that's to even just the wheels, the carbon fiber wheels, you can't even get them right now. So yeah.
His best bet would have been just to take the wheels off the cars and sell those. At least he could have got away with it. That'd been something he could at least sold.
The wheels would
It'd
have
been easy.
sold, those carbon fiber wheels on the ZR1 would have sold for probably at least 20, just because they're carbon fiber and they're the ZR1 design. But everything else, and here's the thing that kind of sucked, is that the other cars he took were sold customer cars. So like you put in an allocation for your Z06, he came in and took those kind of cars that were sitting there waiting for delivery. So I would be furious to find that out. I've already waited, 6 months for this car to be built or whatever. Now I got to wait even longer because those cars can't be sold as new now. They were stolen. People would have easily paid $50K for that engine, maybe more. I mean, if I saw that engine pop, I would probably have paid just to have it, just to say, hey, look, I got a ZR1 engine.
Now, just to clarify, so Red C806 is saying that no ZR1s were actually stolen. Is that? I remember seeing the pictures. So are they changing the stance on that, or
No,
what's
there
the
was
truth on that?
a red ZR1 that was stolen. It was just
Okay.
one. It was 8 C8s altogether, 1 ZR1. Let me see if it says that in here. And
He was making a casket chopper, Larry.
What?
What if he was modding them? Can you imagine? He was going to Lowe's and he was buying like tire dressing so he could like dress the tires and make them look better.
He was doing
I
us
mean,
all a
what if
favor.
that's why he was at Lowe's?
That's why he's pleading not guilty.
Yes, and he probably put a gallon of E85 in each tank, and he's like, "I want my money back."
Yeah. That's what you get for not having an NCM delivery, says Bill Miller. Yeah. Making some catch cans for us. He was trying to do, the Lord's work.
Yeah.
He was probably a former Jack Cooper transport employee. It honestly, that may actually be legit.
That may hold some
Yeah.
weight there.
Because
actually.
if you think about it, it had to be somebody who knew that the cars were stored with the keys in them. He had to know where the lot was for the cars. Yeah.
And the value.
Very possible. That is very possible.
And without a job, and those guys don't have jobs right now, probably, or they might be moving something else. But
no, well, Cooper completely folded. From what I understand, they went bankrupt after GM pulled out. C8 Nate says it was a CTF car from a plant manager. I know one of them was a ZR1. Steven Rapp says he needs to plead stupid. I love it. I wish you could plead that way. There's so many times that I see these court cases that I'm like, man, if you could plead stupid, yeah, that would be the way out of this one.
I don't know. I like this guy for some reason.
Yeah.
The fact that it was two of them, this whole story just keeps getting better.
Well,
I feel like there's going to be some more layers to this later to come out.
Chris says, give the guy a break. He could have stolen 10 cars, LOL. Exactly. At the rate he was going, stealing 8 with 2 guys, I mean, he could have probably completely cleaned out Bowling Green overnight if he really wanted to. All right, guys, we got 230 people watching in here, 135 thumbs ups. We could easily get to 200. Let's keep smashing those thumbs ups.
Well, I mean, I would plead not guilty too, because you think about it, it's a big corporation versus the little man. He could say that his grandma had cancer and he was stealing the cars to pay for her hospital bills or something like that. And then a jury, if you're in a jury and you're sitting there, you may sway your vote to let this guy off. So I mean, it makes sense to me.
Okay, that's Brandon's official stance on this. That sounded very lawyer-esque, by the way, Brandon. Do you like Midnight as a lawyer or anything?
No, far from it. Yeah,
I liked some of the verbiage you used there. Yeah, Glass City Car Nerd said he's a lock. He's a lock for a role in the next Fast and Furious movie. All right. So other than that, one other thing here, or actually 2 other things. The cars that we talked about last week that were up on the trailer, if you guys remember the ZR1s that were on the trailer with the window stickers, we found out they are being exported. So they're not going to customers or anything, but it definitely looked interesting. These are export cars, and apparently they're going somewhere over to the Middle East. So I think they talk about Arabia. This particular one here, we haven't seen this spec yet. This is actually a Hysteria Purple ZTK package car with carbon fiber wheels and a natural dipped interior. This is the first time I'm seeing Hysteria Purple on a ZTK car. It looks pretty good. But it is being shipped over to Arabia, and it says that it's going to be... Or no, the purple one's going to Dubai, and it was going to be their display car at the dealerships over there. So it's kind of disappointing to see that, especially since we have this car sitting right here with the ZTK package, but then the people that are here in the United States ordering this car are being told that they can't get the ZTK package. But yet here it is being exported overseas. Like, it kind of sucks. It's not really what you like to see, but it is an answer to our question as to what was happening with these cars that looked like they had window stickers on them. That's wise, because that window sticker actually says that it's for export. So there you have it. So we get answers whenever we don't know what we're looking at. We get some answers later on. Let's see. That's not purple, says Riptide Rick. I love that name, by the way, Riptide Rick. Yeah, you can't fill the orders here, but let's send them overseas where, we can drum up some more business, and also send over the cars that have the parts that the people here want. Let's send them overseas. It's weird. All right, guys, we got 250 people in here watching, 145 thumbs up. So let's keep smashing those thumbs ups. And also, become a member to the channel if you want a chance to win this $250 piece of carbon fiber for your C8 Corvette Z06. It replaces the part on the car that's plastic, and it actually does way less. So $250, you can win this for $4.99. Let's see. One other thing here. No, two other things. Man, we got a lot of news tonight, guys. This one, 25% out-of-country tariffs go into effect next Tuesday. Now, this is what this video is basically about, is the price increase for the 2026 Corvette. And this is going to be why. Tariffs. If you guys don't know, somewhere around 43%, I can't remember the exact percentage, but it is on the mid-engine Corvette forum here. 43% of this car is imported from Mexico. 43% of the parts. So with that said, the guys over at the mid-engine Corvette forum have started talking about what they think this price increase is going to be. And it's going to be somewhere around $7,500 before GM adds their year-to-year price increase. So we could potentially be looking at $10,000 or more of a price increase for the 2026 car. That is just as it sits right now. So with the tariffs coming into play, parts coming from Mexico, some parts coming from, most of the parts coming from Mexico, and some parts coming from obviously right here in the US, but that's about half. It's almost half of the parts coming from Mexico. So the car's built in America, but the parts are not made in America.
One other thing too, I was reading, I don't know how accurate it is, but it was also, I think, on mid-engine forums, was that number that they give for the U.S. parts includes the Canadian parts. So it's like 43%.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say.
And we don't know what the Canadian number is. So that's even more.
Right. That's even scarier. And I was going to say Canada, but I wasn't 100% sure because they don't list it in there. And like AARPM, the problem with that statement is he says, I think they'll scramble to get it down from 40% from Mexico. Maybe not all here, but it will go down. Yes, it will. But the problem with that is manufacturing in the US is far more expensive than it is in Canada. So one way or another, the prices are going up. Even if they do completely cut off the imports from Mexico and make them all here instead, the prices are still going to go up. And this is something that will most likely level out eventually, but for the time being, the 2026 model year could potentially be one of the most expensive in the lineup of the C8 because of these tariffs. So this is something to consider for anybody out there saying, oh, I'm going to wait until 2026 to get my ZR1. You might not want to. I know you might want that new interior and stuff, but it might be better to grab a 2025 and just hang on to that. So that's kind of what the whole conversation was, but there's a whole forum or a whole thread dedicated to it over at the mid-engine Corvette forum. And yeah, it's not looking great because of the way that GM has their stuff set up with where the parts come from. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, I thought it was a US built car. It is. It's built here. The parts aren't all made here. So they basically get the parts sent here and then they assemble it here. So it is made in America. The whole made in America thing it's such a fine line to walk because just all you got to do is build it here. That doesn't mean that any one of the parts has to actually even come from here. As long as it's built here, it's made in America. Professor Corvette
it's kind of scary, especially, I guess the only good silver lining will be used prices. With this skyrockets, the new prices, then the used cars are going to have to go up in value because people are going to buy more used vehicles. And so our values of what we have already should, in theory, at least hold better than they have been. So I guess that's good.
Yep, I agree. Let the rich people buy the 2026s, and then whenever they resell them, we can get them for a decent price. 250 people watching, 150 thumbs ups, guys. That's 100 thumbs ups discrepancy. I don't like it. Let's fix that. Smash the thumbs up, guys, please. It really helps. Let us know exactly what we're doing that you like. One last piece of news here, and then we're going to get into something really cool that's coming for the channel. And I'm also going to start talking about the winner of this thing. So if you want to get in on this giveaway, all you got to do is be a member, guys. Go to the website, hit join. It's $4.99, and you could potentially win a $250 piece of carbon fiber for your C8 Z06. Last piece of news, if you have a 2024 or a 2025, there is a new technical service bulletin update for a door water leak. So if you're having any kind of water intrusion on your C8 Corvette that is a 24 or 25, there's a TSB for that. So it looks like they may actually replace a couple different deflectors and things like that to make sure that you're not getting water in your interior. Brandon, your car's a 2024, isn't it?
It is. And I'm trying to think. I haven't noticed anything, but I haven't really been in the rain much, so I haven't noticed it from washing it though. I know that.
Okay.
I wonder if it does it say. I guess it's both sides. It's not just specific to one side. It looks like here, left and right hand.
Yeah, left or right hand. And it says to replace the water deflector if there is an issue. But if we scroll down in the browser here, it actually shows you what they're really replacing. A lot of what they replace is actually the clips in the door itself to make sure that the door panel is held tightly against the door. That's what they're showing right here. These yellow things are actually the door clips. And then also the trim across the bottom side of the window. And this on the inside, the back side of the front side of the door behind the door panel, there's this little rubber access panel that's like glued on. Basically, they replaced that too with new glue. So there's a couple different places it could possibly be leaking from if you do have this problem. But that's why these service bulletins are good. So if you have a 24 or 25 with water problems, check out the service bulletin, which is number... Where's the number at on this? N242479150. Yeah, we don't want any kind of water leaking happen. That would suck. Is that for the coupe and hardtop convertible? Let me see. I don't think it specifies actually, so it must be for both. Yeah, it doesn't say. Oh no, it does say convertible and coupe, so it is for both. The doors are exactly the same, so I would assume it is both, but it does say that it's for both. So if you have the coupe or convertible 2024 or 2025, make sure you're getting that looked at. 250 people watching, 156 thumbs ups. Guys, let's keep going with those thumbs ups. We're going to talk about something really cool here in a couple seconds. And for those of you who want to get in on this giveaway, after we're done talking about the cool new thing coming to the Horsepower Obsessed YouTube channel, I'm going to run the wheel on this, so make sure you are entered to win. Right after we're done talking about the new feature coming to the Horsepower Obsessed YouTube channel, a new, not feature, service we'll say, I'm going to ask anybody who's a member at that point to type 1 in the chat. I want to make sure you're still here. Don't do it yet, Professor Corvette. We're going to do it after we talk about this. I'm going to tell you to press the number 1, and then I'm going to load them all into the wheel. So let me see. Are we ready for this? Looks like we might be. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm actually going to bring on somebody who you've seen before in the past. Him and I are going to work closely on a service that's going to be offered to all of you. And what it's going to be is we kind of noticed a part of the whole Corvette thing that seems to be missing, and it is reselling your car. So if you wanted to sell your car today, if you wanted to trade it into the dealership or just sell it outright, a lot of times you're going to get lowballed, especially at the dealerships. I've seen a bunch of people getting $10K less than what their cars are actually worth just because it's easier to just give it to the dealership. What we're going to do here is actually take your car and talk about it on the channel. Literally find a buyer for your car. So whether you're selling or you're buying, you can come here and find a car after, secondhand basically for a decent price. So I talked a lot to Joe in the past about this. We're going to bring him on in a second. He's going to talk to you a little bit more about the specifics. Then we're going to run the wheel for this thing. So I'm going to tell you, once we're done talking about this, I'm going to say, okay, put 1 in the chat. Then we're going to run this. So listen to what he has to say, and then we're going to go from there. Let me get him on here. Let's see what we're at. Nope. All right, I'm going to swap you out for him, Brandon. Just bear with me 1 second.
Okay.
All right, Joe, you are on here.
All righty.
So you guys remember
Can you
Joe?
hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Joe is from We've seen him before from Solar Performance, but he is on here to talk about something a little bit different today. So I'm going to show it on my website while he's talking about it. But Joe, take us away with what we're talking about tonight.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Justin. Hello, everybody. As Justin mentioned, you probably know me from Solar, where I continue to work there part-time. Great company, great products, as you all are familiar with. So I'm not departing, I'm not leaving, but in my retired or semi-retired life, I've got some extra hours to do wonderful stuff. And Justin and I were talking exactly about what he mentioned earlier. And that is, as somebody who just recently sold my 2023 Corvette, we all have been down that road where you go to the dealer, you basically get sort of a non-aggressive price, trying to be kind. And you also are faced with the idea of selling it on your own. Some people, frankly, just don't have the time to do all that. And so we do think there's a middle ground between wholesale, right, which is what primarily your dealers are going to offer, and in some cases even below wholesale, as I think Justin mentioned. And then there's obviously retail, which is after they have your car and mark it up quite nicely, you're going in to buy a used Corvette perhaps, and you're finding out that the price point is not exactly where you were hoping to be able to buy. So in between those two prices is what we're going to call the sweet spot. And we believe through this great network and channel that has been developed now over 100,000, members, if you will, that there's plenty of you that are looking for cars and plenty of you that are looking to sell, upgrade, just do something different in your life. And so the service really is, if you think about, we're not going to actually purchase your car, and we're not actually going to sell you the car, but what we're going to do is try and aggressively match buyers and sellers. And so think of it as, in a little different context, the online dating services, right? You go on the site, you basically tell them about yourself, your profile. In this case, it'll be about your car, right? And then if you are actually looking to purchase one, you will go to this information source that we'll be putting out, and you'll look to see if there's something of interest that strikes your fancy, if you will. And then what we'll do is we'll actually do a little bit of screening for the buyer, and that'll be me. And we'll be talking to the parties to make sure there does seem to be a pretty good meeting of minds, both on features, pricing, mileage. And if so, we will share that information and put the two parties together. And from there, they can actually work out details in terms of the final deal, where the shipping or pickup might be, final price, et cetera, et cetera. So we do think, like I said, there's plenty of desires on both sides of the equation. The challenge is always over what price is fair. So we're also going to offer, as part of our service, sort of a concierge service, if you will, where I will help price and get involved with the seller in terms of getting to a fair price that the seller obviously has to be happy with, but at a point where we know there will be a buyer's market for this, which will be below retail if you were buying, but certainly better for the seller in terms of what they might expect on a trade-in. So it's really basically that simple. We will have two packages. If you go to horsepowerobsessed.com, you'll notice in a new drop-down that's been added, and that is HPO exchange. And our email is at the bottom of the description of that entire narrative that I just tried to replay you in speed. And the email you'll see is HPO VETTE, letter X for exchange, and then CHANGE at gmail.com. I welcome any of you to reach out to that email. I'll respond timely with any more details that you may want in terms of what packages that you mentioned, in terms of standard and premium. What is the difference? What is this nominal cost going to look like? What type of guarantee will you offer in what time frame? And if unsuccessful, what we will do to make sure that the fee structure is fair, balanced, and we certainly are only going to want to be remunerated if in fact we're successful, which is what obviously we all want if you're buying a car or selling a car.
Yep. And just like Stephen Rapp says, he says, I hate trying to sell a car. I hate trying to sell as you don't know if you're dealing with a ripoff artist. And that's kind of where we're going to help with that as well. So what we're going to do, just like Joe said, in a really simple way is we're going to take a buyer, we're going to take a seller, and we're going to put them together. That's the most simple way of putting what we're going to be doing here. And we're doing it in a way that the seller's going to get what he wants, the buyer's going to get what he wants, and we're going to cut the dealership fees out of it, basically. So somebody did ask for what the fee would be. Professor Corvette asked what the fee would be. Do we want to discuss that tonight, Joe? Or
I'm sure if you're okay with it, I don't have a problem with it.
sure.
So we're going to have two packages to start. One will be our standard package, and the other one will be a premium package. The standard package will be $1,000. Basically, we will have 75 days to partner with the seller in efforts to sell the car, best efforts. If we're unsuccessful in doing that, we will do a 50% deposit. That deposit will be refunded if we do not sell the car for you within 75 days. If you actually, and we're successful in bringing you a successful sale, then you will remit the other $500 for a total of $1,000 independent of the price of the selling. So if it's a ZR1 for 150, 160,000 of a C7 generation, or it's a $35,000 vehicle, it's all the same. And we like to think that it's not really costing you more in a way, because if you were to trade that in or try and sell it on your own, you might not be as successful in terms of pricing. And so it's almost self-governing in terms of the cost. The premium package will be everything I just mentioned, including the concierge service, where we'll assist you in sort of coming up with an agreed price. But it also includes a short, which will be a video that Justin will do with photos, descriptions, and that'll be on the public internet. So that'll increase the population of folks that might be interested or might actually be seeing that beyond just Justin's community. And that'll be $1,500. Same thing holds. That'll be $750 deposit. There, however, if we are unsuccessful within the 75 days, you will get $250 back because that video will remain up on the channel in perpetuity until it's sold. So it's not as if the deal ever really ends, so to speak. And those are really the two starting packages that we're going to go out the door with.
Yeah. Looks like everybody's pretty happy with what we're discussing tonight. One person said, where was it? Something about selling to the dealer can give you save you money on sales tax. That is true, but we're talking about the difference in actually getting completely raked by a dealership versus, if we're talking about the difference of $1,000, obviously it doesn't make sense to do this. But if your dealership's offering you $10,000 less than your car than what we could sell it for, you're not going to make up that amount of money in sales tax difference. So stuff like that is where this is going to be beneficial. And yes, someone asked if this is limited to Corvettes. Yes, it is. I would like to say no, that it's not, but honestly, nobody's coming here to this channel to see things that aren't Corvettes. So it's still, it makes sense to deal only with the Corvettes at this point.
Yeah, and to the question that was just asked that Justin answered, in trading in my car with one of the top 3 Corvette dealers in the country, I was offered $11,000 less than I was actually able to privately sell it for.
Yep.
I did do the tax calculation. It was worth, $4,000 or so. So even with the grand, I still would have been much better off, doing it privately than doing it on the trade, even with the tax savings. But we'll help you do that math, or obviously you can do it yourself. But so this is where the math just doesn't work for you to trade it into them and let you have your crown jewel at a price that is just not really where it needs to be.
Yeah, and what Joe actually just said with his situation, that was the situation that made you come up with this idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, I started thinking about it over the weekend. I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah, there's different sites that are out there, but they're really not dedicated to this type of community where everybody that tunes into the channel, it's a lot of camaraderie. There's a lot of good people. There's a lot of good trust. And people hate, buying and selling cars for the most part. And if we can make that easier through the community that's been established, 100,000 plus, why not?
Yeah. And actually, Stephen Rapp brings up a good point. He says that sales tax thing is only if you're actually trading it for another car. If you're just selling it, you're not getting that sales tax anyway, that sales tax kickback.
That's
But
right.
one other
That's a good
person
point,
here commented, boy, why am I having trouble finding these comments now? It was a great comment too. I wanted to.
While you're
There
looking
it
for
is.
that,
Chris.
Justin, so
No, Chris says that nobody knows our cars like us and keeps them the way we do. So this is a very smart idea, and that's 100% it. Like, to put two Corvette people together, a buyer and a seller, it makes so much beautiful sense because the seller knows the car, the buyer knows the car already, and if they don't, they can come right here and literally be educated about the car during the purchase process. It's a beautiful thing.
yeah, and the other thing, as we've all known who have gone through this experience, they pull out the black book, and it doesn't matter, whether you've got 4,200 miles and it's never seen rain, or it's got 19,000 miles and you drove it every day in the rain. It doesn't matter whether you put a new exhaust on it or whatever. They're just going to tell you what the wholesale price is, and
Exactly.
they'll tell you what a great deal that is, but they really aren't taking into the particulars. And as Justin just said, people on this channel have an appreciation for details and value, and that gap between wholesale and retail sometimes is a pretty wide gap.
Jeff says, do you hold money in escrow for selling that does not have the title and needs to ultimately, Jeff, all we're doing is putting two people together. The rest of it is they go to the dealership and do the paperwork themselves. We're just getting the people together that want to buy and sell a car. That's it. So we're not dealing with any of the title transfer. We're not dealing with the transportation either. I saw that come up, Stephen Rapp. There's no we're not doing any of that. That will be between you two once we connect you. So a guy's looking to sell his car and a guy looking to buy the car. What we're doing is putting you guys together and finding common ground, basically. Yeah, Professor Corvette says, wait a second, dealers are shysters? When did this happen? Exactly. Yeah, Corvette Mingle. We should have named it that. Corvette Mingle. All right, guys. So that is the cool thing coming to the channel. Obviously, Joe and I are working on launching this probably by the 15th of April or so. So look for more information of that coming very soon. I just wanted to get this out to you as a kind of get your feet wet, so to speak, to get your gears turning. If you have any cars that you are looking to sell, go to the website, horsepowerobsessed.com. Up at the top, you'll just select that HPO Corvette Exchange right in the center. You can see the link there at the top, and it's going to take you to the page with the email address. Click on that email address. It's going to put you into the ability to shoot Joe an email, let him know what kind of car you got, what kind of mileage, what kind of year, all that stuff, and that's when we're going to start the process of looking to sell your car. So there you go. Kind of a cool little thing. But that's going to be it. So I'm going to trade Joe back in for Brandon, and then we're going to run this wheel on the giveaway for tonight. So again, if you want to get in on this, actually, Joe, you just got one of these cars. You could benefit from this. All you got to do is be a member of the channel, and you can win the carbon fiber engine bay plaque holder. Look at that. Isn't that thing?
Sign me up.
Isn't that pretty? So, Joe, thank you. I'm going to swap you over for Brandon, and you can kind of drop off whenever you'd like. But I appreciate you coming on tonight.
All righty, and I'll stay on till the end. Thanks, everybody. Look forward to working with you.
Same here. See ya. All right, Brandon, you are back. Are you there, Brandon?
This should be interesting on the wheel because the wheel is going to be even for everyone.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure that everybody had the exact same odds of winning. So what we're going to do, guys, I'm going to, well, there you go. Super 8 Creations. You have a car to sell. Hit that email address and have Joe. We'll start literally selling your car. That would be actually, you know what, Joe? That would be perfect. Because number one, your name is Joe, and you're going to be emailing a guy named Joe, and we're going to be filming a car for you come very soon. So email Joe and let's start working this out. I think that would be really awesome. All right, so let me see.
There's a lot of people. Let's see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's probably like 20 entries or something.
There's gonna be a lot.
Like
We still have
15?
we still have 232 people watching. Guys, hit the thumbs up, please. It really helps the channel a lot. I'd love to hit 200 by the end of the show. We're at 177. We only need 23 more. All right, so I'm
just
gonna
hit that X and that like.
yeah. Did you
Sorry.
Did you get your free entry in there, Brandon?
I hit the one on there on the thing.
All right. I want to make sure because everybody's gonna have the exact same odds of winning tonight. I'm gonna have to start typing these names in though, so just bear with me, guys.
Okay.
Professor Corvette.
So I'm gonna make a prediction. I think C8 Nate's gonna win it since the odds are completely even.
Good
And
God.
he seems to be one of the luckier guys I know.
Yeah, he does. That would be hilarious. Because
I keep predicting him every week. One of these weeks he's gonna actually get it when I predict him.
the last time that he won, I believe he did win on a free entry.
Yeah, I think was it French? I think it was. Yeah.
All right, I'm just getting
I'm
all
pretty
these.
sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the main reasons why C8 Nate watches. He likes these giveaways. It's a gambling urge.
Dude, it's probably the reason 99% of these people watch. I try to make the giveaways entertaining because I know sometimes, the news is not always great. The news by itself can sometimes be not just boring, but not great news,
Yeah.
But
well, I will ask, while you're doing that, anybody else on here that's going to be traveling to the bash on Thursday from the southeast that will be coming anywhere near like Chattanooga that wants to meet up? We'll have a group that morning. If you want to reach out to me and kind of join us, there's going to be, I think, 5 or 6 guys that'll be leaving from Chattanooga. We're going to be meeting in Chattanooga to head up to the bash. So if you're interested and you're coming from Atlanta or Florida or somewhere further south and coming up that way, you're welcome to join us. If you want to reach out to me, I'll get you the times and you can kind of join the caravan per se to head up to the bash. It'll be Thursday morning. I know some guys are going before that, but that's when we're going. So it'll probably be early morning hours of Thursday. So if anybody's interested in coming on up, then just reach out to me.
I had one guy
and
actually reach out to me about that, Brian. I'm not sure if they reached out to you or not.
Okay, I don't think I've gotten a recent email on that. Also, in some other Corvette news, Z06 wise, I saw that they were testing some just traditional long tube style, the equal length headers, not the tri-Y. I don't know if you saw that, the 4-into-1 setup. And they dynoed them and they didn't make any more peak horsepower, but made, I guess, some more mid-range power. It looked like I didn't see the actual. I didn't see the actual numbers, so I haven't gone over it, and I haven't watched there's a video on it too. I haven't watched that yet to listen to the sounds, but so there is a new set of headers that's coming out. It looks like so to me,
Who was it?
Personally, I think I can't remember the guy. The guy's name's Brandon something. He has a channel. He's I think one of the first ones. I don't know what company's actually doing it. I can't remember the name of the company, but I remember the video was by a guy named Brandon Jensen, I think maybe. Does that sound familiar? He's got like a bunch of different Mustangs. I think he just bought a C8 Z06. Supposedly this is one of the first sets that they were testing on his car. But anyways, I'm interested to see what they'll sound like. I just haven't listened to it personally. Maybe somebody in the comments has. But and also in other Corvette news, ARH. I think it's ARH is coming out with a set of headers too.
Yeah.
The Vengeance Racing, I think, is the one's going to be distributed. At least one of their retailers through Vengeance. So that should be interesting to see. Those actually look like they may have longer tubes to them from the pictures I've seen. I don't know a lot about the actual primary size, but the way they come up on the side look like they might be a little bit longer. They might have more height on. That's what I saw. I don't know that to be fact. It's all just me saying hearsay, just from what I saw in pictures. But
Jeff said kind of what I was thinking. He said he's not going to take out the cooks at this point, and I wouldn't either. That's so much work for. If you're talking probably plus or minus 1 or 2 here and there, at the end of the day, the aftermarket headers are usually aftermarket headers. Like, that's it.
All right. And that's for me. I'm not going to change them. So I mean, I'll keep in mind.
All right, I got everybody loaded in here, so we're going to spin this wheel in 1 second. There we go. This one's real easy tonight. This one looks good. So here we go, guys. You ready? These are the names that I saw pop in there. So I got you in there, Jay. Here we go. Oh,
Oh no, I thought it was gonna be him. Oh, never mind, it was spinning. I'm looking at the delay screen.
all right. So there it is. Seawolf06.
Seawolf! Nice. Oh,
Nice.
they couldn't have him to a better guy.
I was
That's
gonna
awesome.
say, what a good dude. So Seawolf,
Yeah.
Dan, you won this thing. Very nice. So Dan, send me an email. I know we've already been emailing back and forth, but send me an email just to remind me. I need your actually your shipping address is going to be in Canada, so I'll probably just bring this for you at the bash with your shirt. That works perfectly. Actually, saves me shipping. How about that? Congratulations, Seawolf. You got this $250 part for $4.99 for being a member. This is the kind of benefits you guys can get from being a member on the channel, though. I run these kind of contests from time to time. Consider being a member. It's $4.99. It's worth it. You get some cool access to different little videos that I put up that normal subscribers don't see, like behind the scenes stuff, bloopers, stuff like that. So, yep. Congratulations, man. I love that it was you. Like Brandon said, it couldn't happen to a cooler dude. So thanks everybody for the support as usual. Look forward to more information coming about the Corvette exchange. Like I said, we're going to have a lot of information coming on that if you're looking to sell or even buy a Corvette, you might be able to do it right here. I might be able to put 2 and 2 together, find somebody who's selling and somebody who's buying, and that way everybody's kind of in a good position with it. You're not getting ripped off and you're not buying for too much, that kind of thing. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to have more information on that coming soon. Smash the thumbs up if you can, guys. We are really close to 200. We're 14 away. So yeah, smash that thumbs up, and we will see you guys same time, same place next Monday night.
Thanks for having me.
See ya.